it is a proud moment for our Krishna Pradip's 21st Century IAS Academy and our Degree Plus IAS campus to invite a cordial response from our great legendary personality, Sri Alok Ranjan sir, who was a 1978 batch. So he has immense experience in public administration governance, and he was from 1978 batch, All India rank 4, IAS officer 1978, and most delighted aspect here is when sir was listening to his All India 4th rank. During that time, his presence was in Hyderabad. Actually, yes. And one more thing, he retired as Chief Secretary of Uttar Pradesh, one of the largest states in our country. Chief Secretary. He retired as Chief Secretary. He was the forerunner for various programs during the reign of Shamshabad party. And also, one more aspect here is Sir gave distinguished lectures in various reputed institutes in our country, IIMs and also IITs. And one more thing that I would like to tell you, Indian Institute of Governance and Labasna, Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy for Administration. He gave many distinguished lectures for all IAS, IPS aspirants who got selected into the service. So he usually goes to Labasna, and every year he gives lectures there for the aspirants. Such kind of huge, big, eminent personality, he is here in front of you now. He is going to address and he is going to interact with you. He is very humble and humane personality. You can't even imagine such a big personality that is the highest position in the bureaucracy to become Chief Secretary of State. Such a highest position, from that position he retired, and still he is interacting with you like he is interacting with his own kids. That is the greatest nature and attitude that I have witnessed from the Sir Alok Ranjan sir. So I hope this session will definitely give you a lot of insightful, inspirational things from Alok Ranjan sir. The personality itself is very helpful for you. I cordially invite Alok Ranjan sir to interact with you and give his valuable lecture to you. Thank you, sir.
You can hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Very namaskar. And good evening. You're all studying out here, graduate students?
Yes, sir.
Very nice, very nice. And on all subjects, or just in public administration, political science and all, or all kinds of subjects, is it? Very good, very good. Okay, good. I'm very happy that I have been called here to talk to you. In fact, tomorrow was when I was supposed to talk to many of the civil service aspirants along with this institute, 21st Century IAS. But since I had come here in the afternoon, I said that I must share some time with students. And so he brought me here between you people. And I think I will be happy to have more of an interactive session with you all, because you are all still doing graduation and you must be having many dreams on what you want to do in life. And many of you might be wanting to take up civil services. Many may not be wanting to take up civil services, but then the other careers also. So I will, yes, if I say some few words, and then I will take questions from you all so that I answer your queries and questions. That will help me in answering what is there in your mind. All right? Okay. So all of you are from Hyderabad? Or Telangana, is it? Telangana, sir. Oh, all over, huh? Is it? Okay, good. Huh? Andhra and Telangana, both. Good. All right. No, good. That's very nice. Well, let me say something that, first thing that I must tell you is that a choice of career is a very important thing. Your whole life will depend upon what career you choose. 30, 35 years, you will work in some career, whichever you take up. So the most important decision in your life would be what career you choose. And that is important, that you understand what you want in life. Choose your career according to what you want in life. It depends upon what is your interest, what motivates you, what kind of inspires you. That should be your career. Because my experience has been in life that people succeed in those careers which they are good at. Their inherent capability is there. Otherwise, many people don't succeed in many, in the life also, even though they may be good in studies. This is, even in the IAS, I will tell you. After joining the IAS, you would think that anybody joining the IAS would be able to do very well in his career or in his life. But that is not so. I found to my utter surprise that many people who even got very high ranks in the civil service, top positions and all that in the IAS, did not do very well in their life because mentally or temperamentally they were not suited for this career. You see, that is very important. For example, I can say that you need to be comfortable with people. If you want to join a career in civil services, for important, you need to be comfortable with people. You should like to build teams, motivate people, work with teams, talk to people, take in their grievances, solve their problems. So that comfort level with people should be there. But supposing you are not so very comfortable with people, some people are not. Some are not comfortable with people. I remember an example. There was a person in my Uttar Pradesh cadre of the IAS. He belonged to 1968 batch. He was 10 years my senior. He had topped the IAS in his year. He was number one position holder. And not only had he topped, he had broken all records in the amount of marks he has got. So much so that it is said that even today, nobody has got a higher percentage than that person got in 1968. His record still holds. He was so good. And his subjects were mathematics, physics. He was brilliant. He was brilliant in mathematics and physics. Somebody like who can get 100 out of 100 in mathematics. He was like that good. So that is why he topped. But in his career, somehow or the other, he did not reach the top. Even though, whatever he did, like even while he was in IAS, he started learning astrology. So he topped the Delhi University in astrology examination also. He became a top astrologer. He picked up computers after joining the IAS. He became an expert on computers. He is known as an expert on computers. I mean, he knows everything about computers. I can handle. But on the IAS job somewhere, whichever posting he got never succeeded much. In fact, I remember in the 1990s, this computerization was just taking place, Now it is so common for you people. Internet and computerization was, taking place in 1990. So this Ministry of Information Technology was set up in Government of India. It was set up in the state governments also. It was set up in UP also. So I told my Chief Minister, I was Secretary to the Chief Minister. So I told the Chief Minister, sir, this new department is there. We've got this man, he's a topper and he's very brilliant in computer sciences and all. Let us make him the secretary of this department. And he will really do something. He will develop this department, take it forward and bring a lot of success. So we appointed him. After 6 months, we found that the department was not moving forward at all. Nothing was happening there. And not only nothing was happening, there were too many fights between people. Officers were not getting along, they were not coordinating, they were fighting with each other, and he was also getting into trouble with his subordinates and with his peer group and others. So then it is when I realized that it is not enough that he should be having knowledge of computer sciences or mathematics, but he did not have the ability to work with people and deliver results. That was so important. So that is why he did not succeed. In fact, had he not come into the civil services, and had he become a professor, he would have done very well because he was so brilliant in his subject. He would have really done very well as a professor. So, to become a professor, you need a different mindset. To become a civil servant, you need a different mindset. To go into the corporate career, you need a different mindset. To become a lawyer, you need a different mindset. So, different mindset for different careers are required. And that is what you must, because you are doing graduation, start thinking on what your talents, special talents are. Everybody has some special talents. Some are good at writing, some are good at speaking, some are good at some subjects, some are not good at some subjects. Not everybody can be good in every subject. Somebody may be very good in political science, but he may not be happy with mathematics at all. It's like that. Some people may be having a legal mind, but they will not be able to pick up literature, for instance. In fact, even in the IAS, I was chief secretary of the state also, and people with 25-30 years experience, I found that even the IAS officers with 25-30 years experience, not everybody was good at every kind of job. I used to divide the IAS officers into two things, regulatory kind and developmental. So regulatory officers are who implement the rule, the law, very forcefully, and they're very strict about the law. These officers I found succeeded in department like Home Department, handling the police, handling the law and order, handling the transport department, handling wherever there is regulation. But you put them in a development department like education, they will not succeed. Education needs a different mindset completely. Whereas there are some officers who were creative and developmental who would succeed in departments like education or health but not succeed in this. Similarly, like you must have heard from this criticism, there used to be a lot of criticism that IAS officers go into public sector corporations and they become MDs and all, and they are not suited for that. No, some IAS officers had a commercial mindset, so they did very well, even in public sector corporations. But many others did not have a commercial mindset, so they did not do well at all. So this is the point I am trying to say repeatedly to you is, first understand what you are good at, and that only you can understand. Nobody else can tell you. You have to go inside yourself and understand your ability, and then you choose your career. Because now at the graduation level, the whole world is open before you. Civil service is one option. IAMS is another option open before you, and other management institutions are there. Then CLAT is there. You can go into law. Then media and mass communication is there. Then CA is there. So many other professional careers are there, which so first of all, try to see what excites you. Actually, in life, what is important is excitement, passion. You do well in life if you are excited about something, passionate about something. Like in civil service, your professor there was asking me just now, sir, you did 38 years. Did you ever regret joining the civil services? I said, no, I never regretted, because every day was a new challenge for me. I enjoyed every day of my career. Long 38 careers, because I joined the civil service at the age of 21. So I had full 38 years with me. So 38 years, a few months I did. So therefore, 38 years means every day I had excitement, challenge to meet. And I did that. But the interesting thing I'll tell you, why I am telling you, I also changed my career. I did this analysis which I am asking you to do. Actually, what happened, I'll tell you something about my life. I did my BA Honours in Economics. And I did BA Honours in Economics from St. Stephen's College, Delhi University. Okay. After having done my BA Honours Economics from St. Stephen's College, Delhi University, I was more interested in economic development. I used to enjoy subjects like philosophy, history, literature, all these subjects I used to enjoy. But there is this craze always for IIMs. No? Everybody wants to go into IIM craze. So even at that time, it was there. IIM. So most of my friends and others, everybody was writing examination. So they forced me also, like happens with friends, no? Your friends are also filling up the form. They say, you also, chalo yaar, tum bhi bharo. Form bhar do. So you also went and filled up the form. So I also did the same thing. And as it so happened, immediately as I finished my BA Honours Economics, I was selected for MBA in IIM Ahmedabad. So I got selected for IIM Ahmedabad. So when I got selected for IIM Ahmedabad, then the question came before me, what should I do? Because I had not thought about this career. My mind was more into civil service and academics. The two things I was interested in. Careers, either civil service or academics. Because I was very fond of reading and writing and speech, researching, all these things. So these are two things in my mind. A corporate career was not in my mind. But then, as it happens, the moment you got selected, everybody starts saying, oh, you got selected in IIM Ahmedabad, you can't refuse. Go, you must go. Or you will get this much salary, you will get that much salary. Oh no, crores, you will get salary, this, that. So finally, I also realized that one can't say no to that. I went and joined and did my MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. Now, the very interesting thing. When I was doing my MBA from Ahmedabad, what I'm telling you, many subjects there did not excite me. It was not, my basic nature was not that, no? So when I went there, so in management and in business, everything is what? Profit maximization, isn't it? We should maximize profits. So I used to think, oh, why every time talking of money and profit maximization? So that never excited me. Have something more bigger for society, something more for the country and society and people you should do. Why all this, only this? So this did not excite me. And especially, I don't know, many of you might be doing accountancy or finance or something. Like accountancy and finance and all subjects I didn't like. Because my taste was different. I used to like subjects like philosophy, literature, history, economics. Oh no, these things I liked. But I did not like subjects like finance. I did it because I was studying there. When you are studying, you have to study all subjects. But that connect with those subjects, I was feeling, no, I'm not feeling very happy with subjects like finance. And even though I specialize in marketing, I did well in marketing. There was no problem. But I felt that, that's the way I was not feeling challenged enough. I thought marketing was a lot of common sense. Nothing, this is not challenging my intellect. So I must do something which challenges me a little more. So all this was in my mind. But anyway, I completed my 2 years of MBA and campus placement is there. I got a campus placement, very good campus placement in Mumbai with a multinational company. I went to Mumbai to work with a multinational company. And after 6 months, then I started feeling, no, this is not what I want to do in life. ये नहीं करना है मुझे. This is not giving me excitement. No thrills. I'm getting money, good salary, good allowances, 5-star hotel, everything, ठीक है. But this is not motivating me enough. I want to go back and do something for the society. That was exciting me. I want to work for the people. I want to work to change the society, to bring about development in the society, actually, to improve the standard of education, improve the standard of healthcare, improve the roads, improve infrastructure, do all these things. So this was what in my mind was exciting me. As I not this career in this was not exciting me enough. And therefore, it was a big decision. That is where I thought like you people, I'm telling you to think. I thought so much and then I said, okay, I will resign. I will resign and write the civil service examination. It was a big decision. I resigned. Even though everybody at that time told me, don't resign. It's such a good job. You're from IIM Ahmedabad. It's a big job. You start doing IAS along with it. If you want to prepare also, prepare along with your job. And I said, no. It is not possible to prepare along with the job. Civil service is a very difficult examination. And a job in the corporate sector also is very tough, very demanding. You have to work from 9 in the morning till 7 in the evening. If you do that, then where is the time left to study for civil service? There is hardly any time left to study. So if you have to write the civil service examination, you can't have your 2 feet in 2 boats, Otherwise you fall into the river. So there is no point. So I decided to resign. Many people told me, in fact, one senior ICS officer I met, I asked him for advice at that time. He told me, no, Alok, a bird in hand is greater than 2 in the bush. So this job was in my hand. But I said, no, sir, I will let the bird in hand go. I will go after 2 in the bush. Let us see what I get and what I don't get. I'll take a chance. I'll try my best. And that is when I, resigned. And I came to Delhi from there, Bombay, and took up a room in Defence Colony there and studied for 6-7 months. Because that was the time for preparation. Only preparing for the civil service and wrote the examination. So I was fortunate enough to get selected in my first attempt. So I got into the IAS. So that was, and then when I got into the IAS, the whole career after that, that I really enjoyed, every step. So I took a right decision. The point I want to tell you from my life story is that I took a right decision. Possibly, I don't know, possibly had I stayed on in the corporate career, I would, since one works hard, I would have succeeded. But maybe I may not have succeeded to this extent. I don't know. I may not have succeeded to this extent. To the extent that I succeeded in civil services, because this was what my inner calling was. My inside self was telling me that this is what I want to do in life. This was exciting me. It was giving me passion. Unless you're passionate about anything in life, you cannot succeed. You have to be passionate. It can't be just halfway. I'll do my job. No, that is not. It is not a job. It should be a calling. You should be motivated by what you're doing every day, by the opportunities that you're getting, by the challenges that you're facing. That is what is so important. And that is why I got in a career in civil service. So I took the right decision. In fact, what your professor asked me just now is a question I've been asked everywhere where I go. When people ask me, you were in IIM Ahmedabad. Why did you resign and join the civil service? Did you not regret? I said, no, I never regretted. In fact, I think I took the right decision. It's a different matter that I will share with you. Just by the way, that when I retired in 2016 as the Chief Secretary of UP, that was the highest post there, top post you can reach in the IAS, in the state level, Chief Secretary. On the day of my retirement, after 38 years of service, my salary was 2.25 lakhs per month, which is, if you complete CTC, as you call it, about 27 lakhs per annum or something. And had I been in the corporate career, and had I worked for 35 years or 38 years after I am in Ahmedabad, it would not have been less than 2.25 crores. Easily, So that difference is there. But then you have to take a decision whether you want money in life only. Money is important. Now, I am not saying money is not important in life. Money is important. Without money, you cannot live. But the only question is money the only important thing you want in life? Or is there something else? That is a question you must ask yourself. What motivates you? If money you want, there's nothing wrong with it. Then start a business, become an entrepreneur, do business, go into a corporate career, go into professional careers which give you a lot of money. But if you want something different, the satisfaction of working for the society and changing the society, then come to civil service as a career. Because civil service will give you that opportunity, that ability to change things for the people. So that's what I'm saying. Even you can take examples. Today, since you are in graduation, that's why I'm repeatedly telling you this point. Do not choose a career just because somebody else is choosing it, just because your friend is choosing it. You have to answer yourself. See anybody, I'll give you example. Amitabh Bachchan you heard of? Everybody knows Amitabh Bachchan. What a brilliant actor he is. What a beautiful voice. The moment he comes to any TV ad he electrifies it completely. But do you know, when he went into politics, he failed. He went into politics, he failed as a politician. He had to resign his MP seat and go. He did not succeed in politics. Then he went into business. He set up his consultancy firm. Completely failed. Huge amount of debt he piled up. And only because of Kaun Banega Crorepati, KVC, was he able to pay off his debts. Otherwise, he was in big trouble. He had to almost reach a stage where he had to sell his house. That stage he reached because of debts. So, here is a man who could be a brilliant actor, outstanding actor, but a failure as a businessman, a failure as a politician. So, if he had chosen the wrong career, he would have been a failure. He went to the right career, he succeeded. So, that is why I am telling you all people. It is not a question of somebody being better than the other. It's a question of you being good at something that you select. And you will succeed then. If you are good in teaching, you want to be a teacher, then be a teacher. Then you will do very well as a teacher. But if you are not interested in teaching and you become a teacher, then you will feel totally bored. You will feel unhappy with the job. You will say, "Bhai, kahan phas gaye? What is this? I'm not feeling interested at all." So that is the kind of thing. So these are the things which you must keep in mind when you are selecting this career. Right kind of motivation should be there to select the career. That's what I'm saying. Even parents, I was just talking to your professor again. Many times parents also put pressure on students. You take up this career. But it's not, you have to take that call. You have to decide. Don't just go by what the parents say also. Because parents are looking for our interest only. But sometimes they don't know what we are good at. Like, I was the principal secretary technical education in government of UP. And technical education is admission to all these engineering colleges and management college. So there used to be this combined entrance examination for engineering. So after that, I remember a case where the parents came with their child, boy, to me. I said, "Sir, he has not succeeded in the examination, entrance examination, but he has to take up engineering. So please, if you can help him getting him seat on management quota in some private college, can you help me? You are principal secretary." I said, "It's not easy to help. I can try and help, but let me find out from the boy. What does he want?" So when I talked to the boy, I found that he was not very keen on engineering at all. So I talked to him. I said, "Okay, son, let me see what is your mark sheet in class 12 examinations. What are the marks you got?" So I found to my utter surprise that in mathematics, he had got pretty low marks, even around 50% or something. And he was not interested. And a person who is not interested in mathematics cannot do engineering. It's not possible. So I told his parents, I said, "You are pushing him unnecessarily. Even if I get him a management quota seat in an engineering college, he will not succeed there. He will fail or he will not do well. You are pushing him in the wrong career." "No, sir, engineering is very good. You get good salary." I said, No. Not everybody gets good salary. Not everybody gets an IIT or like that. It doesn't happen. So you don't send him there. He is not made for that." Then I asked him, "What do you like doing?" And I found that he was interested in law. I said, "I want to do law." And I told his parents, "Please prepare him for law entrance examination, CLAT and other state level examination. Let him do law. He will succeed in that subject." So finally they listened to what I said. I hope he succeeded in law. I don't know what happened after that. But then that is how parents sometimes also push in the wrong career. Like there was this story, I don't know, any of you have read history somewhere? A little bit? No. You heard of Motilal Nehru? Motilal Nehru failed in BSc. Not once but twice. Because he was not good in science. He did not understand science. So then he changed his career and he took up law. And when he took up law, he became brilliant. And he became one of the topmost lawyers of the country at that time. So that is there. So it is not again that there was nothing wrong with Motilal Nehru. But had he chosen the wrong career, he would not have succeeded. So I'm just telling you, please, if you want to be interested in civil service, be very clear in your mind that this is what you want to do in life. Be confident amongst yourself. If you feel that way, then yes, select that career and then work for it. And work for it from now onwards, when your graduation stage itself. Because civil service examination cannot be prepared in one day. And even the 6 months or 8 months or 1 year preparation is not enough. Many aspects. For instance, your personality for the interview. Your personality development is a matter not of 1 year. Your personality development is at least a matter of 5 years. So that is, you're at the right age when you need to develop your personality, reading the newspapers, analyzing the newspapers, taking part in debates, taking part in competitions, learning how to speak confidently, learning how to write properly. Many people, they go through the whole education system and they don't even know how to write answers. And if you don't know how to write answers, you will never succeed in UPSC. UPSC examination, if you've seen the papers, there's a lot of main examination, lot of writing of answers is required. And if you're not able to put forward your thoughts logically and analytically within the time frame, you will not get good marks. You will not score high marks in that. So you have to develop these skills. These are skills which can be developed, but it needs time. It cannot, if you have not done any writing beforehand, in 1 year you will not develop it. So, like right now, what you should do now, you must, first thing I must tell you is what I did also in my life. You must read a lot. I don't know how many of you read, but reading is very important. And read anything you like. I'm not saying read just serious books on political science. Read anything you want. Read literature if you're interested. Read novels, good novels, not trashy novels, good novels. Read good novels. Read good things. And if you do that, you find that your personality will develop. The best way to develop personality is by reading. One, it gives you command over your language. That command over the language helps you in speaking and writing both. Second, you develop a certain style of writing and speaking. And third, it gives you awareness and knowledge of the world around you. And you must know that. And so if you read start from newspapers, start reading editorial pages, start discussing in your mind, analyzing, read books, keep analyzing, write down something about summary of the book that you've read and all. Slowly, and discuss with some people. Slowly and slowly you will find your mind is becoming broader and you're able to grasp issues better, discuss issues better. And if you can do that, then you will be able to make a mark. So this age where you are sitting now in the graduation level, the first thing you must do is read as much as possible, participate in things like debate, dramatics, competitions, everything, student affairs, develop your leadership skills, develop your personality skills, develop your grasping skills, because that is what ultimately helps you in the civil service examination. It cannot be done in 1 day. It cannot be done in 6 months. It cannot be done in 8 months. This much I can tell you that. If you have not reached that level, in the last 7 to 8 months, it is not possible to reach it. You will not be able to reach it. So you start working on it from right now. That is what my advice is. Spend at least 1 or 2 hours apart from your course. Study apart from your course. I don't know how many of you are doing a subject which excites you. I don't know. Because in my life also I found that 2 kinds of students are there. Everybody takes a subject for graduation and all. So some people just, whatever is taught in the class, they take down the class notes and then they are given some reading list by the professor. So they go through the reading list and take notes from that and they are happy. But then that is, I'll share my experience. I used to go much beyond that. I used to read the subject much beyond that. Read other books, original books, and always read the original books. Don't go for shortcut methods. And at this age when you are there, must read the original textbooks. Read original one. So read wider as much as possible. As you do that, you will get a greater understanding of the subject you are doing. And you must understand your subject. Conceptually understand. Unless you understand conceptually, let me be honest with you, you will not be able to succeed in civil service examination. Because the questions they ask, even in the prelims, are very conceptual questions. So, and the 2 to 3 answers are very close to each other. So, unless your concepts are clear, you will never be able to give the right answer. So, whenever you read, try and get full conceptual clarity. We should be, don't just cram, learn, point. That is easy. Oh, the 5.1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. No, that's all right. But try and understand also what is there. You can learn, it is all right. Some people have very good memory, they can learn. I did not have a very good memory. But some people can learn. But you must understand and then be able to write well. Then you get good marks in UPSC. It's very important. How you write an answer. In fact, even after, you see what happens is, we see a question in an examination. Oh, this topic I know. I'll write this answer. And you start writing. But you'll be surprised that most of us do not answer the question. What we answer is, we answer the topic. A question is on, say, democracy in India. So whatever we read as a topic, we write everything about it. Okay. But the question will be specific about some particular aspect of democracy in India. That has to be answered. In UPSC, the answer has to be to the point, very relevant, exact, you have to understand the question and answer that question exactly as it has been asked. If you just write all around it, you will not get marks. In fact, you will lose marks if you don't write a correct answer. A relevant answer. Even in the essay paper, the topic is so important that you have to write, there was a person in my St. Stephen's College, senior to me, who was very bright. So we were very confident that he will get selected. And you get to know why this boy will get selected or this girl will get selected. She is very bright. But he didn't get selected. We were all very surprised what happened. It so happened that when the mark sheet came, he had a big 0 in his essay paper. How can you get 0 in essay? But he got 0 in essay. So later on it transpired that the topic which he wrote on was, to a man with an empty stomach, food is God. Okay? You have to write an essay on this topic. To a man with an empty stomach, food is God. But this was written in inverted commas and dash M.K. Gandhi. This is a quotation of Gandhi. Gandhi said this, that to a man with an empty stomach, food is God. Now this gentleman wrote his entire essay, but he did not mention Gandhi anywhere in the essay at all. Whereas when the examiner had specifically written M.K. Gandhi, he wanted you to talk about Gandhi's thinking in that and why Gandhi said this and what he meant and then give your own views. But this gentleman wrote the entire essay without mentioning Gandhi anywhere. He got a big 0 and he did not succeed in the IAS. So these kind of things happen. So much it matters what his exact question is, what the exact wording of the question is, what exactly is the examiner asking you, and you have to answer that. That is what I mean. Similarly, in the interview and personality test, how confidently you speak, how analytically you speak, how you are able to convince and how you are able to take the interview board into your area of strength. You see, you are strong in some areas, you are weak in some areas. If you find the interview board is taking you to your weak area, you can just quickly say, sorry sir, I don't know much about this, and get away from it. And the moment it comes to your strong area, then you speak more. And वो कहते हैं ना कि in cricket, you play in your own pitch, home turf. That is why you need to play on your home turf. Then you succeed. So these are the qualities which you need to develop. These are the skills which you need to develop if you want to succeed in civil service. But let me end by saying that if you are interested in civil service, well, it is a very satisfying career, a very challenging career, very diverse career. Every day you get new opportunities. Nowhere in the world you will get so much of diversity. Every 2-3 years you get a different job to do. You're never bored. You cannot be bored. You're doing something new, something different, and learning, all the time applying. There is enough scope for creativity, enough scope for doing things for society. And you're getting feedback from society every day that what you're doing is right or not right. If you do something which is not right, people will oppose you. If you're doing something which is right, people will appreciate you. And that gives you that sense of satisfaction. So, if you realize that you have the right motivation of civil service as a career, you must go in for it. And then it is an intensely satisfying career. You will really contribute to the development of the nation. And at the end of the day, feel that yes, I have done something significant in my life. So this is what basically I wanted to talk to you about. Now I would like, if there are any questions or anything in your mind, you can let me know. I will try and answer that. Okay, thank you. Any questions or anything you have in mind, don't feel shy. You can ask. No questions. No questions means either you did not listen to me or you did not understand me. So you must ask questions, otherwise I feel that nobody heard what I said. Okay, let me ask you. Yes sir. Go ahead. You see, I'm very happy you asked this question because this is something which I wanted to talk to young boys and girls also. Sit down, I'll tell you. Actually, it should not happen that you spend your entire youth preparing for civil service. Many people do this because the age limit is now 32 or whatever it is, 30, 32. So, I have seen many people in Delhi, at least I know. I don't know about here. But Delhi, at least I know many people stay in this Karol Bagh, Mukherjee Nagar area and they take 5. Have you seen the movie 12th Fail? Yes. So, you see, you understand. You understand that, they take 5 attempts, they take 6 attempts, and they're going on and on. So that way, and after 5, 6 attempts, if you don't get selected, then your entire youth is gone. You are 30 years old or 32 years old. Then you cannot even take up a new career. Because anywhere you go, they will say, what were you doing for the last 6 years? And you will say, I was writing the civil service examination. That will go against you. So my advice to you is that one attempt that you give, the first attempt, should be full-fledged. Don't do it with a job or anything. If you want to do it, give a full effort. And maybe second attempt also, if required, do it. But beyond the third effort, don't go. If it is not succeeded in 2-3 attempts, then leave it. Because there are so many other careers which are very good. As you asked, there are so many career options. You can go to the corporate sector, you can become a teacher, you can become a journalist, you can become a mass media man, you can become a CA, you can become anything. So many. Nowadays, there is no shortage of careers. In fact, people go into music and become good. People go into theatre and become good. Today there is no stopping anybody. Design, interior design, decoration, architecture. There are so many careers. So don't spoil your entire youth. If you can get through in the 2-3 attempts, maximum 3 I would say, be happy. If you cannot, then say this is not for me, go into something else. Don't waste your entire life on this career. It is not worth it because youth is the time when you can contribute so much. If you lose that time in preparing only, then it's unnecessary. That's what I feel. Yes, any other question? Girls. Normally girls speak more than boys, no? So, yes, it is true that the girls also have something, they learn the language much faster than boys. It's part of their mental makeup. They pick up language much faster. Yeah, go ahead. Don't feel shy. Ask. Go for MBA or do? No. If you are interested in management, if you are interested in management and if you are interested in a corporate career, then after graduation you should prepare for a management course and take the examination and go for it. Because that's also a very interesting career. Now with industrialization and opening up of the Indian economy, there are more and more jobs which are coming up in that sector and more will come up. So it's a good career option to go for. However, if you are interested not in going to corporate sector and you want to do further into your own subject, whichever you're doing or anything, and you feel that excites you more, then you can do your PG and all and go ahead further in that area. Then you can do that. And even one option could be you do your PG if you're interested, post-graduation. And after having done your post-graduation, if you're still interested, then you take the MBA examination. Now let that be, wait for 2 more years, do your 2 years PG. Sometimes it helps that also. If you can do your PG, by that time your mind will be very clear on what you want only. If you want to go further into that or you want to go to MBA. If you want to go for MBA, then you can come for that. That's what my advice is. Yes, public servants are expected to listen to people, respond to people, also politicians. Politicians create a lot of problems every day. The biggest problem is politician for a civil servant. You see, handling a politician becomes the most difficult part. As you see, emotional intelligence, the most difficult part of a civil servant's career is handling the politician. Because, as I always say, that the politician and the civil servant, they come from 2 different universes. They are not from the same planet. They come from different planets. Somewhere, Their thinking is totally different. They look at life very differently. They look at situations very differently. And then, you have to somehow tackle them. So that slowly you have to learn how to handle a politician. So emotional intelligence, you said, is, what I did was, I used to take even that as a challenge. And the challenge would be to somehow convince a politician that what was being done is for his good. You see, politician, for instance, is dependent on his voter. How many votes I will get, that is what he wants. So he will take that decision which is good for him getting votes. Whereas a civil servant goes as per the constitution, as per the law, he will try and take what is legally or constitutionally correct decision. So there sometimes there is a tussle which takes place between the two and can be very, sometimes it can become, very interesting. Example, I will tell you, when I was chief secretary, I did some recruitment, okay. I did some selection in UP for the post of sub-inspectors of police and constables. 5,000 sub-inspectors, 35,000 constables. So normally what happens in any of these selections is there is a lot of paper leak, this, that, cheating, and complaints, irregularities, corruption. That time I made sure that everything was done honestly. So it was done honestly and the result was declared. So everybody was very happy. Oh, every fair selection. Boys and girls were very happy. Sir, we were sitting at our house and we got our appointment letter. We did not even expect that we will get selected, but we got selected because everything was on merit. So even media spoke favorably. But one very senior politician of the ruling party, very experienced and top man, he was upset. Why was he upset? He called me and he said to me, he was very angry. No, way of looking is so different. He said, Mr. Chief Secretary, you say you have done a very fair selection. I said, yes, sir. Very fair. No cheating, this, that. And all computerized and this and that. He said, yes, very nice, but you have spoiled the electoral chances of my political party. I said, sir, how? How have I done that? He said, because there is a particular community which votes for me. I am not going to mention that. There is a particular community which is my party's voter. And that very few people from that community have been selected. Tell me how many people from that community have been selected. I checked up, I said, sir, just about 2%. So he said, only 2% from that community have been selected. And there are more than 15% of that community in this state. So, what do you think will happen to me as a political party? They are all coming to me saying, your party is in power, it is in government, such an important selection for the police force takes place and only 2% of my community gets selected. So, sir, I am finished politically. Mr. Chief Secretary, what you have done is you have finished my political party. Very, very major thing. Very upsetting. I was also very upset. I kept quiet, allowed him to speak. After he had spoken, then I said, now this is where emotional intelligence comes in. That is how you handle even politicians or the situation. I said, sir, let me allow me to say a few things. He said, yes, please, go ahead. I said, sir, in fact, the electoral prospects of your party have improved. How? How have they improved? I said, they have improved because this selection on merit is the first time in the history of Uttar Pradesh that completely fair selection has been done for such important 35,000 posts. Completely fair selection. And this has sent a message to the entire youth of the state, to all the boys and girls, that this government is very fair, that this government is very impartial, that if we study hard, we don't need anybody's influence, we don't need any money power, we don't need anything. Just we will study hard, we can get selected. This message which has gone to the youth, all the youth now of the state are in your favor. And you know the majority of the people now are young people, boys and girls. And if you get the support of young boys and girls, your party prospects will go up, will improve, because they will vote for you. They are the new voters. And they will vote because they say the government is very fair and impartial. Then he got the point. Oh, is it true? I said, yes, it is true. You can find out from anybody. You check up. The youth is in your favor now. Then he said, that is true. Very, very happy. Then, before that, he had not even offered me a cup of tea. After that, he immediately said, oh, get him some lassi, get him some samosas. All was brought for me immediately. After all that samosas and everything came, then he again said, but Chief Secretary, sir, in Hindi he said, Chief Secretary, sir, I understand what you are telling me, but how do I answer my community? What do I tell them? They will come to me still. What do I tell them? I said, sir, I have a solution for you. And what is their solution? I said, sir, tomorrow's cabinet meeting, I will take a specific proposal to have government financed institutions, training institutions, which will prepare people of this community for the entrance examinations, like the sub-inspector and all that. We will give them special training at government cost. They will not have to pay anything. Government will fund it fully and train them so that in the next examination, on merit, they will succeed. Oh, he said, this is a very good idea. Please implement it immediately. Next day I did it, and he was also very happy and I was able to. So this is emotional intelligence required in handling. Sometimes you have to, you see, you have to convince the politician. You have to convince the politician that something is for the good, politically good for him. Unless you tell him it is politically good for him, he will not follow. So that is your job as a civil servant. You have to use your intelligence to do the right thing also and give a political justification for it also, which will convince the political leader, no, this is right. Then he will support you. That is about politicians. But even otherwise, when you meet people, there's so much pulls and pressures which you face. The biggest thing is emotional intelligence. You asked me a good question. You have that sense of balance. You see, the basic thing about emotional intelligence is, if you understand, and the way I understand is, you put yourself in the shoes of the other person. When I'm talking to you and you are facing a problem and you are talking about a problem, I must try and understand why you are facing this problem, what you are feeling emotionally about it. So I must put yourself in your shoes. If I do that, then I will understand you better. Then I will understand you better, then I will be able to solve your problem better. So the best thing as a civil servant, the attitude is that so many people come to you with their problems, with their grievances. You must talk to them or respond to them in understanding their problem. You know, some people come, so this is what we are facing, and if you are a civil servant, say, no, go away. And this is, go and meet some subordinate officer. Why are you bothering me about this? So he will feel very upset. But if you make him sit down, please, and listen to the person, and then try and reply to him, and you want, then he will feel satisfied. So that is how I handled people in my life also, to put myself in their shoes, understand their problems, and then handle. But that is the way of handling, using emotional intelligence to handling the pressures which come from so much of public meeting you with their problems. I hope I answered your question. Huh? Okay. Anybody else? Yeah. Good evening. Oh, my philosophy of life is, okay, my philosophy of life, as I told you, is that one is made for happiness. Life should be a life of happiness. And therefore, you must do what gives you happiness. Happiness is not temporary joy or pain. There is pleasure and pain in life. Always, in everybody's life. But overall, that sense of happiness which comes to you, that is what you must do in life. Whether it is relationships, whether it is work, whether it is anything that you may do in life. And if you do that, then you will be able to realize your full potential. Objective of life should be to realize your full potential, which is your inner potential. Self-realization or self-actualization, as they call it. Once you reach that level, then you are at a very higher level of consciousness. If you work at that higher level, then you will get intense satisfaction in life. But if you're not working at that level and you're not focused and you're frittering away your energy in too many things, then you will always be unhappy and always feeling sad and upset and not wanting this thing, that thing or the other. Second is, my philosophy of life always has been, material things never really attracted me. As I said in the beginning, material things are important. You cannot get away from it. But I never pursued the material things. More than that, it was the inner satisfaction that I would get, inner happiness on doing something. That gave me, joy in life or happiness in life, which is what I used to pursue in my life. Not just running after material things. These days, many people think that only material things are important. No, material things alone are not important. Absence of material things is bad, but material things alone are not important. So don't run after material things only, but go for what is inside you, your inner self, what makes you happy from inside. That's it. Any other question? So are you all prepared? Yeah. Correct my mistakes. Oh, that is only, you see, That comes only, as I said, you have to always keep analyzing what my strong points are, what my weak points are. And then, like for instance, if you want to improve your written skills, you write out some answers. Write out, you read them yourself, you show it to some other person also. Let him correct and tell you that this is what you should improve upon. Then you write it out again and improve. There is no substitute to practice to improve your weak areas. But first you must understand what your weak areas are. What are your weak areas, you must understand. So that is important. And once you understand, then you have to work on them. Because there is no area which cannot be improved by working on it. So practice, work at your weaknesses and also develop your strengths, and you will find that you can be fully prepared for your examination. And as I said, in civil service, you must have a good conceptual understanding of the entire course. If you don't have that, then it is very difficult to succeed because you don't know what questions they will ask you. Very often they ask you questions which are not, last 10 years this question may not have come at all. They'll ask you something new. But if they ask you something new, you must have good understanding of the subject to answer them. So that also, have a broad understanding of the entire subject when you prepare for it. But as you said, weaknesses, identify your weakness, practice at it, improve it continuously. And don't be satisfied unless you really are able to improve upon it. All of you ready for civil service examination, it seems, no? Huh? Yes.
Should be given more importance.
Oh, very, very difficult question you asked me.
You were part of the selecting
Yeah. Actually, it's a question which is, merit is certainly important, but reservation also does not mean that it is going against merit actually. You have to look at it that way. It is just that if some people have not had the benefit of that level of bringing up or academic background or something, then they are given that slight affirmative action is there to help them come up to that level. So that is all there is. But even, and I tell you that even the reservation, people who come into civil service through reservation and all, are very brilliant. They are very good. It is not that their merit is less than anybody else's. That is what I found. And in fact, I will tell you something very interesting I will share with you. At least for civil service I can tell you. I found that many people like who maybe did not get such high marks in the selection or maybe came through the reservation thing, but they were very practical people and they had lived in villages, they had understood people. They performed very well on the job. They performed very well because they were very mature and they had greater understanding of real life situations than many people who came from elite schools and colleges. They had not seen real India. They had no idea of real India. So they did not succeed to that extent. So my take on this is that certainly merit has a great importance, but reservation also is there as long as in our country there are still people who are socially and economically not at that same level. Once we can bring everybody socially and economically up to the same level, then reservations are not required. But we have to reach that level. Actually, if you see the constitution, the criteria for reservation has been social, not economic. It is social because those who have been socially oppressed over time, that is why the reservation has been given to social. The only economic thing has come this 10% EWS. That is economic, on the economic basis. Otherwise, the 50% other criteria, SC, ST, OBC, that is based on social deprivation. In India, the reservation is on the basis of social deprivation and not on economic thing. So once the social deprivation is tackled, then yes, then I said, then you can apply the economic criteria or then not apply any criteria. But social deprivation is linked also to economic deprivation also in many ways. Those who are socially behind are economically also behind. So that is why. Thank you. But there's a very, very important question that you raised. Yes, please. Oh, very good. How can government do it? I'll tell you something. It is more than the government. It is the own individual who can handle this. No, using power, abusing power for personal gain and not for public. That is dishonesty. That is lack of integrity. That is unethical. And so each individual officer or civil servant, he has to answer himself and has to solve that problem himself. What the government can do only is that if somebody is dishonest or somebody is found to be dishonest or lack of integrity or lack of abusing power, government can have a code of conduct, and who violates that, they should take action against that. But action, okay, you will take action against some people. You can't take action against everybody. So this is a thing which has to be actually very important, that this training has to come from inside every boy and girl himself, that I will not do this. That is important. And that is a question of attitude to change, which is important. But yes, a lot of people do abuse their power. That is true. How should society evolve according to time? You see, if you look at India, we are evolving in a big way. That is why the country is now important as far as other countries now they give respect to India, because the country is evolving. But society doesn't evolve because of one person or two persons. The society, the basic change in society has to come, in my opinion, it comes through education and the right quality of education, which has to be given to all people. If we can give the right quality of education, which is education which allows them to think, critical thinking, be analytical, be creative, be aware of all the things that are going around, be fair, be honest, all these things, if this value system is there and they get this right kind of education also, then society will always evolve. So the crucial thing, if you want the society to move forward, any society, in that society, education is perhaps the most important thing. If we can give the right kind of education, the society will definitely move forward.
Is social media boon or bane?
Oh, social media is both a boon and a bane. It's a boon because it helps you to connect. Otherwise, there was no connection before that. And it also gives you so much knowledge. Today there is so much material on YouTube, so much material which you can gain so much knowledge also. Then like my own IIM Ahmedabad batch, I am connected with all of them through WhatsApp groups. I am connected with my IAS batch, 45 years gone, with WhatsApp. Just 20 days ago, we had a reunion in Mussoorie Academy of Administration. Our batch, after 45 years, we went there. But we arranged the reunion entirely on WhatsApp. So that way it is a boon. But it becomes a bane when it replaces things like reading. It replaces things like outdoor games. It replaces things like independent thinking. If you are you will find that many people, even when they're eating food, they're looking at WhatsApp messages. So that is a bane really. If you keep looking at WhatsApp all the while, then you're gone, then your brain is gone. It will not develop. That way it is a bane. So social media you should control. One should be able to control the time one gives to social media. Then make the positive use of it. Nothing in life, let me tell you, is my experience. Nothing in life is either good or bad. It's how you use and to what extent you go. If you go to extremes, then anything can become bad. Even a good thing can become bad if you go to extreme. So be moderate, be balanced, and then if you do that kind of an approach is there, then so social media is also, you cannot say it is bad. It has a lot of positive points. But if you misutilize it, then it becomes bad. Oh, law, ethical dilemma, not one, not two, but several. But basically, okay. One I told you the ethical dilemma where I told you the story of the politician just now, no? Similarly, many things happen that, you will be asked to do something and you don't want to do it. Sometimes, okay, I'll tell you a very personal story. When I joined the service, and I think here you call sub-collector, is it? In the beginning? Sub-collector, no? In Telangana. So sub-collector, and we call SDM out there in UP. So I was sub-SDM in the beginning, right in the beginning of my career. And we used to do court work, sit in the court and decide cases. So one day I'll tell you, one case came before me in which there was a dispute about a property and whose property this is. So on one side there was a person I could make out he was very poor, and so he could not afford a good lawyer also. So his lawyer also was not able to argue the case properly. On the other side, I could notice they were very rich people, and they had at least 4 lawyers, top lawyers arguing for them and arguing very vehemently. So obviously it was looking strong, but as a young idealist, I was very idealistic. I said, no. I as an IAS officer, I must be on the side of the weak and the person who is poor and who is weak. I cannot be on the side of the person who is rich
and strong. So, but the arguments and everything was coming from the other side. Even then, I decided to help the person whom I thought was right. So I gave a judgment in his favor. But the other people went on appeal against my judgment to the district judge. When they went on appeal to the district judge, disagreed with me, and he said that remanded the case back to me, and he also wrote that the learned SDM has not applied his mind to the evidence that is available on the file. That was a big adverse comment on me, because what he was saying was that I have given my judgment on emotional grounds, but I have not seen the evidence which is there on the file. So evidence is in favor of the richer person, all the arguments, and I am giving my judgment in favor of the poor person. And the file came back to me, and this was an ethical dilemma for me. I thought, I did not sleep in the night. I thought, what should I do? Now, if I decide on the basis of file, I'll have to give in favor of the rich person, which I did not want to give, because I knew he was wrong. Even though whatever is the evidence on file, he was wrong. He was telling lies. But his lawyers were better. If this fellow's lawyer was no good, he was not able to say anything. Now what do I do? One day I heard that case again. So then I started helping by asking questions in the court. I kept asking questions, forcing that lawyer to also give some evidence. Why you tell me this, you tell me that. Oh, what is this? What is? Finally, I was able to collect enough evidence, and then I spent a long time writing a judgment, again in the favor of the poor person. Again I wrote it. But this time I wrote it all the evidence, analyzing it fully and categorically and giving. And again those people went to district judge. This time district judge upheld my decision. So I was able to do what I wanted. So this was an ethical dilemma. Sometimes you feel, what is the difference between law and justice? Law says something and justice is saying something else. But whether you should follow the law or whether you should give justice. Here in this case, I said that I must give justice. So I chose the justice, but then sometimes you have to again use your intellect on how to, not go against the law, because as a civil servant, you cannot go against the law. But you still want to do justice. This kind of a question comes up very often in life, between right and wrong. You want to do the right thing, but you're not able to do it because certain rules are there which are stopping you from doing it. Certain processes are there stopping you from doing it. Then you have to somehow see how you can get over those rules, get over those processes, and do the right thing. That's all. Thank you then. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you all in civil service very soon. And when you get selected again, you can talk to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your valuable presence in KPIS, sir. And we are extremely proud to invite you, and also we are extremely thankful, and our gratitude towards you will be forever, sir, because such a humble gesture from your side, and it is not like interaction from you friend as a senior bureaucrat. It is like an interaction like a family head and member with the students. This is like really great opportunity, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.